Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year's entitled Parshat We, the Micro and Macro Jew, Part 2. In the previous year we mentioned that Moshe had opportunity to Makarev Paro. He saw that there was a window of opportunity. Paro and his advisors seemed to be open to the possibility of tshuva, and therefore he let that moment work for itself. He slipped out and let them talk. What about the fact that God is going to harden their hearts and won't let them go, and then be more miracles that will impress the Jewish people? Moshe said that's not his responsibility right now. His responsibility is to Makarev Paro and his people, and he was focusing in on that micro issue. And the bigger issue, the macro issue of how to affect Klal Yisrael, that right wasn't his focus at the time. Just give a few more examples of sometimes we have a conflict between the micro and the macro. Okay, we see Rachel. Rachel goes ahead and gives over the signs to Leah. She sees there's going to be an unbelievable, embarrassment for Leah to go to the chuppah and not have the signs when she approaches Yaakov. And Yaakov and Rachel made up signs so that Lavan won't be able to trick Yaakov. So she right now is focusing on the micro, that she cannot let her sister be humiliated, and therefore she gave her the signs. What about the macro? The fact that she may never marry Yaakov. She may never become the matriarch. She won't become the mother of the Jewish nation. And even if she does, she'll be maybe play a second role to Leah. Who knows what's going to be? There could be antagonism between her and Leah, which there was. What about the macro? She's giving up so much. True. At this moment, Rachel decided that she has to focus in on the micro, which is right now another person, her sister, is going to be humiliated, and that's the focus. The macro, we'll have to see how that works out. Another example, Moshe is invited to become the leader of the Jewish people. That's a very big plan to change all of mankind. And right now, what's he focusing in on? Wait a second, Aharon. Isn't that going to be humiliating for Aharon that I, the younger brother, am chosen to be the leader? So Moshe at that point is focusing in on the micro and not on the macro. However, there's no general rule here that one must always focus in on the micro or over the macro, or the macro over the micro. There are examples the other way as well. A person has to be a real chacham to know when to focus on the micro, when to focus in on the macro. We'll just raise a question that we're going to elaborate on the next year. In the Chorban Beit HaMikdash, in the Gemara Gittin, there was a whole debate where Kamsa bar Kamsa fight. So in anger, he sent a korban for the Jewish people, for the rabbis to bring a korban from the emperor into the temple. And he put a mum on it, a small slit in the lips. And the question is, if the Jews don't bring that korban, then the emperor is going to go ahead and really give it to the Jewish nation. On the other hand, you can't bring a korban with a mum. So there's a real conflict over there. I'd like to analyze this conflict in the third part of the series of Micro and Macro Jew. Shalom.